Imam Ali to respond, bi'idhnillah. What should the community expect from the student of knowledge upon his graduation and repatriation into the community?
Right. It's a good question. First, I think people here, everyone needs to understand who these students of knowledge are. Many of us, maybe the brother's not here, but many of the other students of knowledge, when you go overseas and study, you're just nobody among other students of knowledge. In fact, many of us may not have even been the best in our classes from students of knowledge. Even to the point when you sit with the different ulama, you have many other students that are a lot stronger than many of us. Many of us. And when they graduate or when they finish school, you know their level. And see, the thing is, when students of knowledge are around other students of knowledge, you can't fake like you know more than what you know. We all know, it's like if you're a doctor, all the doctors in the field, they know each other's level and they know what they're capable of and they know what they're not. The same thing with students of knowledge. You can't play that game in front of other students of knowledge. The problem is, when students of knowledge graduate and come back to America and they start talking to the masses don't know any better. They're fooled, hoodwinked. And so what happens is the other students, they know the reality. They know that this guy's a fraud, or this person, he's playing games, or he's out for this and out for that. It's clear for the ones that know. So when it comes to setting up, and I just wanted to say that first, when it comes to setting up expectations for the students when they return, the first thing is that in our communities, we don't have any real infrastructure set up in place to support students of knowledge when they come back. That's just the reality at the end of the day. And so what happens is there's no protocol in place that prepares us to come back to America. In fact, I remember when Shadid graduated. He was 07, right? In 2007, 2006, we all still in school. He's still in school, I'm still in school, but he graduated in 07. What are you going to do when you get back? Nobody knows. There's nothing in place, nothing. So that was in 07. I graduated 2014. What's in place? Nothing. So when you come back, you're scrambling. Well, what am I going to do? Am I going to go here? I'm going to go there? I'm going to go there? Sheikh Abu Hussein, he came way before you graduated, in the 90s. The 90s. I wasn't even Muslim when he graduated. The thing about it is, there's nothing in place. So the expectations of the students is to come back and save the day, but they don't have any tools to save the day with because there's no infrastructure. There's nothing in place to support them. And we're not necessarily talking about money and so on and so, just whatever the case may be, there's nothing in place. So when a student comes back, he has to start from ground zero. Firstly, how are you going to take care of your family? That's first and foremost. You can't help a community if you can't help yourself. Now you have to figure that out. Then that's going to take a whole nother year and some change as soon as you come back. Then once you start having some run, everyone's pulling at you. Brother, we need you to come here. Well, I got rent due. I got to figure out. So now the expectations of the student is a lot more than they're able to fulfill. Then not to mention the tons of phone calls. I have a phone with hundreds of missed calls and people think I'm slighting them. It's nothing personal. I just don't have the time. It's only 24 hours in a day. And then your family has your time. And then you don't even spend enough time with your children. So then they feel some type of way. So this is the reality. Now, what should be the real life expectation? The expectation is that you should expect from a student of knowledge to be sincere in dealing with you. That's the real expectation. The expectation is that that student of knowledge has a trust and a manner that they must convey. Your expectation should be that they should be honest with you at all times, even if it harms them. That's a real fair expectation, that they're going to give you the truth. And you should also expect that whatever comes out of their mouths, they have to stand in front of Allah with it. So if they tell you something that's incorrect, they have to wear that. And it's also for the student of knowledge to fear Allah. When you talk to the people, you must, and all of us, we must fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we say whatever comes out of our mouths. And having said that, our expectation from the people is to give us time to grow. Because being back here in America and dealing with our problems that we face every day, we may not be ready to deal with all of that coming straight off the plane. And I remember Shadid and I had conversations over the years, and he knows this. When I was in school and he would be dealing with the problems that he's dealing with, he says, Ali, you gotta, I said, Sheikh, I'm not ready yet. I'm just not there yet. It takes time. I'm not ready to speak on those issues that you're speaking on. I need more time to develop in this environment. Other brothers had other years to develop. Everyone develops at their own pace. No one's going to move on someone else's time. So at the end of the day, everyone has to give the students of knowledge the ability to grow in their community. You have to understand, we may have spent 10 years in a foreign society, learning a foreign culture that's foreign to us. Living in it, experiencing it, dealing with people according to it. Now I got to come back to Philly. When I first became the imam at the masjid in South Philly, I said, listen, man, we got to deal with these marriage and divorce issues. And I don't think you remember this. I said, we got to deal with the issues of marriage and divorce. So he said, well, what do you want to do if a woman, she wants a khula and the brother's not? Oh, we're just going to have to separate. He said, man, you're going to get yourself killed. I said, what do you mean? You remember that? I said, what do you mean you're going to get the sunnah? Nah, man. You got to understand the society we live in. The brother's not going for that. So it's like all of these things, everything is not kitab, sunnah, black and white the way we studied it. We have to understand our people. We have to understand how they react. So this is a learning process. This doesn't happen overnight. So as many times I went, oh, how do you deal with this? The rule says this. Well, that you got to bend it this way and that way to make it fit. Or I'm saying, okay, this is something that students have to learn. You don't just come back overseas living in a foreign country for 10 years and understand that process right away. It doesn't work that way. So having said that, that's my 2 cents to the whole conversation, and I'm going to let you take the microphone.
No, fair enough, man.